God created sex. Priests created marriage. Love is a matter of life is a sexually transmitted disease, but sex is a matter of physics. Sex, the pleasure is momentary, the position ridiculous, and the expense damnable. Everything in the world is about sex except sex. Sex is about power. Sexual pleasure is, I agree, a passion to which all others are subordinate, but in which they all unite. I've always said, if you need Viagra, you are probably with the wrong girl. Sex is emotion in motion. She has slept with every male star at MGM except Lassie. Before marriage, a girl has to make love to a man to hold him. After marriage, she has to hold him to make love to him. Why should we take advice on sex from the Pope? If he knows anything about it, he shouldn't. The difference between sex and love is that sex relieves tension and love causes it. Sex is much better with a woman, but then one can't live with a woman. The difference between machines and human beings is that human beings can be reproduced by unskilled labor. Women do not sleep with men, but with abstract concepts: power, reputation, money, fashion. Bite marks are love notes written in flesh. In America, sex is an obsession. In other parts of the world, it's a fact. Sex is God's joke on human beings. The first and only principle of sexual ethics: the accuser is always in the wrong. I know nothing about sex because I was always married. Few women inspire tenderness after sex. Few men have the courtesy to fake it. An intellectual is a person who has discovered something more interesting than sex. Of the delights of this world, man cares most for sexual intercourse, yet he has left it out of his heaven. At male strip shows, it is still the women that we watch, the audience of women and their eager faces. They are more obscene than if they were dancing naked themselves. A man snatches the first kiss, pleads for the second, demands the third, takes the fourth, accepts the fifth, and endures all the rest. A man who thinks not of a woman as the complement of a sex, but of sex as the complement of a woman, is ready for love. When the male organ of a man stands erect, 2/3 of his intellect go away, and 1/3 of his religion. It is sexual energy which governs the structure of human feeling and thinking. Sex in France is a comedy. In England, it is a tragedy. In America, it's a melodrama. In Italy, it's an opera. In Germany, a reason to take up philosophy. The tragedy is when you've got sex in the head instead of down where it belongs. Ducking for apples change one letter, and it's the story of my life. The more a man cultivates the arts, the less he fornicates. Mankind became hysterical in the Middle Ages because it poorly repressed the sexual impressions of its Greek boyhood. Thus, in pornographic novels, action has to be limited to the copulation of cliches. Sex is the consolation you have when you can't have love. The trouble is that sex is a force of nature and reason is not. Life in Lubbock, Texas taught me two things. One is that God loves you and you're going to burn in hell. The other is that sex is the most awful, filthy thing on earth, and you should save it for someone you love. If some really acute observer made as much of egotism as Freud has made of sex, people would forget a good deal about sex and find the explanation for everything in egotism. If they substituted the word lust for love in the popular songs, it would come nearer the truth. At the heart of pornography is sexuality haunted by its own disappearance. Except for 75% of the women, everyone in the whole world wants to have sex. Lovemaking is radical, while marriage is conservative. Heterosexuality is not normal, it's just common. Never pass up a chance to have sex or appear on television. The best deals and the best sex happens outside of boundaries.